Feels good, man. So, on my channel, I've talked a lot about my inspirations of Shoe on Head and Chris Reagan, Saga and Vacard, people such as that. But I think I neglected to say, I guess what really was like one of my first big impressions of the centrist or right-leaning side. And that would be the very first one being Milo Yiannopoulos, and then Ben Shapiro. And I've been listening to a lot of Ben Shapiro lately. Very smart guy, genius with all of his, and all of his responses are just hysterical. Actually, the thing that made me think about this was the Feed the Bear spoof, making fun of how Ben talks about his sheets and his gold and all of his stuff as advertisements, and just really funny. On Benjamin, I'm pretty sure his name is. Anyway, the point is, it made me think about how much Milo and Ben hate each other. And I think this is actually kind of perfect because of the irony in it. See, with Milo and Ben, I don't think one would really currently exist without the other. So what happens for a lot of people, at least with me, is you first discover Milo. He's loud, he's boisterous, and he's all these contradictions that the left still doesn't know how to handle. Like, he's gay, but he likes Trump. He was raised Jewish. He has fetish for black men. He's actually currently married to a black man. So the usual homophobic, racist, sexist, X, Y, and Z labels that the left throws on their opponents to silence them, they just bounce right off of him. And he just comes bursting through your door, guzzling on, well, you know. And he says all this stuff. Now, he doesn't really... He does use sources, not as much as Ben, but he basically is inflammatory, and he gets you thinking. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for Milo. I mean, obviously I'm going to disagree with him on a few things, because he's human, and I disagree with almost everyone on a few things. Again, humans. No one's Christ. But, so Milo just comes bursting in, and he says all these inflammatory things, and he gets you thinking. As you watch all these leftist insults bounce off of him, you start to think, okay, well, maybe there's something to this guy. So you start listening to him more and more, and as you listen to him, you start hearing about Ben Shapiro, or you just find one of his YouTubers and start listening to Ben. So what really happens is Milo comes in, and he takes a red pill suppository, and he just shoves it right up in there, because, you know, he's gay and he loves to do that. Not a homophobic comment. I mean, seriously though, if you're watching this, you should really get that. But hey, whatever. It might be a leftist watching and he might not understand it. So that's a joke. And if you think I'm not joking, I have autism. And if you don't understand that, you need to check your neurotypical privilege. I've been saying that one for a while. So yeah. No, seriously though, I have autism. So haha, if you say anything bad about me, you're showing your neurotypical privilege, and you need to check it. Anyway, where was I going? So yeah, Milo shoves the suppository up your butt, and then he goes off and does his gay thing, does some cartwheels, and says all these ridiculous things, and has everyone yell at him, and boycott his rallies, and beat people up for trying to listen to a gay man, then say he's the fascist. And that's one of the things that really gets you. That's one of the things that get me, like, wait, these people are beating people up because they want to listen to a gay man, and he's the fascist. Okay. And then Ben just gently sits you down, and he starts talking to you. Now, Ben's a ridiculously smart individual, to the point where he kind of actually stutters over himself. He trips over himself. He has all these thoughts, and he's either trying to categorize them, or he's trying to dumb it down so people can understand, maybe a mixture of both. And he's not as good at presenting as Milo. He isn't as fluid. He isn't as humorous. I mean, he can be funny, but he's funny because he makes the other person trip up once he finally gets his own flow going. See, Milo is funny because he tells jokes and he's inflammatory. Ben is funny because, well, he makes his opponent become the funny one. That's another huge difference between them. So he sits him down. See, Ben sits you down and starts giving you all these facts, fact after fact after fact after fact. And it starts becoming a little bit more difficult to say no to them. And I think that's really how it works. And Milo had to slip up, apparently some people construe something he said, or I'm not 100% sure on it, but apparently Milo said something what some people decided was pro-pedophilia, so he kind of had to take a bow out for a little while. Then Ben Shapiro came screaming in, and then Milo kind of bounced back, and I think the reason why he could is because of Ben. And whenever they talk about each other, I don't think they've ever said anything nice about the other one. But I think that's, my main point is I think there's kind of a yin and yang effect to them. Because Milo's chaos and Ben is the reason. And without the other one, they wouldn't have lasted or they wouldn't have become famous. Because Ben became kind of notarized after he talked to Piers Morgan. But he became really famous after Milo. After Milo got the whole quote-unquote alt-right thing going, but then everyone realized he's not alt-right. I mean, if you think any of them are alt-right, you don't know who they are. So, there's that. And if you think I'm alt-right for having Pepe, that's the point of having Pepe, to make you think I'm alt-right so I can laugh at you, because I'm not. Whatever. Point is that, I mean, I know I'm saying a lot, but I don't edit my videos because that's just how I roll, so you know what, just deal with me. And if you have a problem with it, you need to check your neurotypical privilege. I mean, come on, seriously. So, Milo's chaos, Ben is reason. And one can't exist without the other. They complete each other. Like Joker and Batman, they complete each other, and they are what is propelling this movement of red pill, this movement of skepticism, of going, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense, why are they saying that? And that leads you down the standard journey that some of us have been through of questioning, and then being yelled at for questioning, then silently questioning so you don't want to have to get into a huge argument, get yelled at for questioning, and then you start talking to the people who you once thought was a racist, and you realize, no, these people are just reasonable, they just act in a funny way because they think it's funny. And then you start to become one of them. And it's just a long journey, and I think this is where it starts for a lot of people. So what I want to know is this how it happened for you? Were you brought into this whole fold of Milo and then Ben? Because of them, I mean? Are you listening to this video because you're slowly convincing yourself, or you're slowly going down the rabbit hole because of Milo and Ben, or was it someone different? Did they push you away, or the reason why you don't believe in the skeptic community? I actually really want to know, so leave a comment, subscribe, like, get this going, maybe even share it, why not? Laugh at me, because I'm silly, and let's see what happens. I want to know if I'm the only one who sees this duality of them, who sees them working together by hating each other and being completely different. I think it's a fascinating thing. I've been mentally working on this for a while, so I really want to know. So tell me what's going on. In case I didn't say it, this is Leroy Jenkins. You've been watching, and thank you for the support.